Welcome back to the slightly random daily song. Gyroscope. You see this t-shirt? One of many amazing bands to come out of WA, the Perth area, the west coast of the country. This is the east coast of the country, Australia. Western Australia is that way, 5,000 kilometers right to the edge. This band, Gyroscope, they hold a extremely important place in my heart, being the first band I ever photographed. First time I ever took a camera into a gig and shot still photos, which began my career as a music photographer. This was the band. I will tell you the story and I'll show you some photos, but you will laugh at them. They're terrible photographs. Story goes like this. I was living in Adelaide, South Australia. Not here, not New South Wales, not Western Australia, somewhere in between the two, right? I was living over there. Friends of mine were going to see a live show at a venue called the Gov. Now I've heard about the Gov beforehand, the Governor Hindmarsh. My friend said, well, why don't you come to the show with us? Great band, Gyroscope. I hadn't heard much about them at that point. There was one track that I had heard and I was enjoying. I was like, yeah, I like that song. Let's go to the show. So I bought a ticket. And my friend says to me, hey man, why don't you bring your camera? You know, take your camera, get some photos. Yeah, okay. I had a Canon 20D. 30D. I think it was a 30D. Had a Canon 30D. And he said, bring it along. So I said, yeah, okay. Take my camera with me. Go to the box office, the bouncer sees the camera, says, you can't bring that in, dude. That's a professional camera. And I was like, oh, not really, it's just a camera. Like, I'm not a professional photographer. And he goes, yeah, you can't bring it in, dude. I was like, oh man, look, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna leave it here in the foyer and I've got to pick it up later or something? The bouncer starts saying, oh, you can't even do that, man. You gotta take it back to your car and leave it in your car. I was like, I don't wanna have to walk back to my vehicle, put my camera in there, hide it, someone might break in and steal it, blah, 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 blah. So I was saying to him, dude, what can we do? What can we do here? And he said, I'll tell you what I can do, man. I'm gonna turn my back on you and talk to these people, and if you're still here, when I turn back, I'm gonna be very upset. And so he turned his back on me, and I walked straight into the venue with the camera. Don't forget I had a ticket. I wasn't trying to sneak my way in. I had a ticket. I went in with my camera, and suddenly I'm in the venue with the camera. So I go down to the front, the photo pit area, and take these photographs. Now that was my little taste at music photography. The next day, I sent those photographs to a magazine called Rip It Up, and they said, oh, we like the photos, but we can't use them. We didn't send you there. We didn't commission you to go there. But how about this? Next time you want to go to a gig, drop us an email and we'll organize a photo pass for you, and then you can shoot the show on our behalf. And that's how I began my career as a music photographer, sneaking a camera into the Gov to see Gyroscope, and then sending the photos onto a magazine, and then I ended up working for the magazine for many, many years. It's another story we can get into another time. Now that gig was in 2008, in May. Now I photographed Gyroscope many times. Whenever they toured, I always went and saw them because it had a personal place in my heart, right? So shot them many, many, many times. I got a great photograph of them at the Big Day Out. I believe it was 2010 in Adelaide, the Big Day Out. I took a really great wide shot of them, the whole band on the stage, and I had that photo printed on a massive canvas for myself. I really loved that photo. But then one year I was photographing the band at Clipsal 500, which is a race car event, like a circuit racing car event when they have bands playing after the race, right? Gyroscope were on the headline band. So I shot them. I had an access all areas because another band that I was working with was also playing. So I ended up going to the Gyroscope dressing room, knocking on the door saying, hey guys, you don't know me, but you have a part of my heart because of, and I told them that story. And then I showed them the photograph that I took at the Big Day Out, and they were like, dude, that is a great photo of us. That's a really good photo. We really like that. I got thinking, you know what? I'm going to boycott shooting the next band at this event, which was Birds of Tokyo. I'm gonna drive home. I'm gonna get that canvas. I'm gonna come back to the event and I'm gonna hand the canvas to the band. I think they're gonna love it. So I took off, banged it down to the car park, got in the car, went back down to Henley Beach, grabbed the canvas, came banging back up to the event in Adelaide, went back to the dressing room, said to the band, man, you guys like that photo so much, I have a canvas of it I want to give to you, and I handed it to the band. And this is a photo of me with the band and the canvas. I think that's pretty cool. They're always going to have a close part in my heart. I'd encourage you to go and see Gyroscope if you get the chance. Now, I mentioned one song that I knew of the band before I shot them way back in 2008. That song was Doctor Doctor, and I want to show that to you right now. What do you say we look at the ocean in the meantime? I'll pop you guys down here. Maybe a bit like that. So this is Doctor Doctor from Gyroscope, the first song I heard from the band, the first band I ever photographed. This is from their album Sound, Shattering Sound. There you go, folks, Gyroscope from Sound, Shattering Sound with the track Doctor Doctor. What did you think, right? Great song, great band. I'd highly recommend you go and check them out. The band is great, the music is great, but those photographs I showed you earlier were terrible. I'm gonna sit down and go back looking through those archives and try to find the best photos. And look, while I do that, you guys can go back to the live stream.